Finally, we are out of the single degree temperatures. We're back into around the 20s and 30s. Prior to the video, I didn't even bother checking the temperature, and my one thermometer went missing that I used in the great outdoors, so I can't really tell. It is currently, well, it's 11:53 degrees, and why that says 12 is because I didn't bother changing this clock for daylight wasting time. But we've had a minor freak show in relation to the HVAC system, and it's not the air conditioner, surprisingly. The microchannel coils are still holding on the Nordine, but it's a issue with the heat exchanger. So this is a 90% efficiency natural gas furnace. This was from, I believe, 2016 or 2017. It's from 2016. And here's the inside. As you can tell by the alternating green and red lights, it's on its delay mode. And the issue with this unit is the igniter is bad. Right there is the igniter. So I have the part on order. It's not coming in until the day after tomorrow. So pretty much for the past 24 hours, I've been over here and manually igniting it. I've had a few issues where I don't ignite it for several hours. So if it just sits here for over 3 hours not working, the house gets really cold, which is not preferred. Especially with both my father and 2 Wittens in the household. I can't really have that be an issue. So making sure this is working is very important. Now, HVAC techs are very expensive, so taking matters into my own hands, and I'm doing all the work on this machine myself right now. So what I've had to do is come down here, reset the furnace by cutting power to it and turning the power back on, and then wait for it to run its cycle. The draft inducer turns on. I hear some relays. I think it's about 10 or so, not 10 minutes, like 30 seconds to 2 minutes before it finally opens the valve, and the valve only stays open for about 10 seconds before it closes again. And in that small window, I have to be over here and ignite a flame into the heat exchanger. Now, originally what I was doing was, well, I didn't have this. I had a very weak lighter, and I was lighting it here, and pretty much kind of like that, which that's not a good thing to do, because when I was doing that, the flame was going back towards my way, and it burned my face. And then what I started doing was jamming it up over here. I called David and asked him how to ignite it properly, and he said do it like this. So I did that, and occasionally it would still jump back, and I found out if I just sit here and hold the lighter like that and have the flame go in that direction and wait until the valve opens, it does not blow back or do anything stupid. So yeah, I'm wasting more of the fluid in this lighter, but it's a lot safer. And later in this video, I'm going to fire this up for demonstration purposes so you can see how I do that. Having a few issues. So the reason why it's not running now is because once I kick it off and activate it, even when the thermostat's not satisfied, it will kick off randomly. I don't know why it turns off. I thought it had something to do with the thermostat, so I replaced the thermostat, and it still was doing that issue. So I put the other thermostat back, the one we had before, because my dad prefers the Digitam thermostat. And I have it set to just 74, which is a bit more than what I would want it to be. Normally it's set around 70. But it's set like this, so it's supposed to run. There's one of the Wittens, but it's supposed to run for a bit longer. So there's more heat and this is an old house, so heat doesn't hold very well. In the meantime, when I've been down here doing stuff and I need heat, I brought some heaters out of storage. That's actually the first time this year I've used any of these heaters. I have this Dayton Radiant heater, which I actually just turned off. I had this running for a little while, and it did amazing, actually. It's kept the temperature in here very warm. Well, the furnace has been off for past 3 or so hours, so I'm quite impressed. And this is just a small radiant heater. And over here, when I was doing some work in the living room earlier, I was using this ceramic fire hazard heater. This is a low penis heater made by the Medea. There's the other Witten. And it's been pretty good. I was going to use it over here, but it's kind of too congested over here. And I don't want to set the heater on the carpet just for fire hazard and stuff. This heater does, the shutoff switch does work, but I kept it over here on the actual floor for that. But the issue is the outlet over there is a bit dodgy. I've still yet to replace it. It does not hold the plug very well. So my workaround for that was I just kind of bent the plug. So instead of the prongs being straight, I bent one of them and shoved it in. So one of the prongs is slightly bent and it keeps it from falling out of the receptacle. And that has worked. It's a good connection. The plug doesn't heat up, which is good. That was an issue I was having before the past couple years when I was running heaters in here. And yeah, it's a bit destructive bending the prongs on the plug. Also, I believe my uncle was in the kitchen cooking earlier, so it's somewhat warm in here. And honestly, the temperature it's fine. It's 67, which is a bit cold for me. I've been wearing a hoodie and 2 layers of pants, which is kind of abnormal for me, but it's been fairly good. The upper floors I'm not too worried about, since those seem to hold air or hold the heat. I'm not sure what my father's doing. He's been running his TV and his PlayStation a lot, so I'm not too worried about that because he hasn't complained and he likes it cold. As for my bedroom, I like it really warm, and what I did was I switched out all the DEL light bulbs I had in my bedroom for incandescent light bulbs, and the incandescent light bulbs, they generate some heat, so I'm using those. I still have the one CFL in the lamp, and it's still in place just because I like that particular light bulb. But besides that, everything else has been set, and I've been keeping the lights on during the day, but at night I have all the lights off in the bedroom. And I noticed actually yesterday night it was really cold, so I'm going to try to preheat the bedroom tonight, and then hopefully by then it should be fine. Now, with it only being 67 on this thermostat, it should be able to catch up in one cycle without just shutting off prematurely. And I'm not sure why it shuts off prematurely. I'm wondering if the furnace itself is overheating inside of that chamber. I don't really know. Or it might also be an issue with the control board on the furnace, because even when it had the front cover on earlier this year, last year, all the prior years, that furnace has had that issue where it just short cycles into heat mode, and I don't know why. It does not do that with the air conditioning mode. It works just fine in the air conditioning mode, but for the heat mode, not really. And also, with closing off a lot of these lower floor vents, it seems like the heating system works much better. Especially for this room with this vent here, because this is right underneath where the furnace is, and it just blasts air out. Instead, it just goes up to the upper floors. And there's this vent here, which sometimes I have closed. I actually have it open for the time being because I've been using this one to dry gloves. This vent here in the restroom, which it's partially open, but even when it's on, it just blows cold air out of it, which is strange. That's kind of the reason why this door's open. I had a little plug-in heater here, but I needed that elsewhere. So, yeah, so that's why that's kind of there. And the one vent over here is open. But there's also this other vent that was added on. that's over here. And then there was another one of those vents in the kitchen. And this one normally always stays open, even if the air conditioning, because during the summertime, if we are cooking in here, it gets really toasty in this kitchen. Still have the Christmas lights up in here anyway. These are another good source of heat. I kept these up over last year. I've been slowly working on tearing down the Christmas stuff. I didn't really make any Christmas light tours this year. We've had a lot of stuff happening, but I still have the snowman collection over here. There's some other stuff here that's just slowly starting to get taken down. It's taking a while, but I'm doing it. So, made a decision. I'm going to fire up the furnace because I'm going to go to bed soon. And with that process, I'll show you how I ignite it. And tomorrow morning when I wake back up, I'll probably make another part to this. This will be part 1 that I'll upload before I go to bed. And then I'll make a part 2 when I wake up in the morning. And I'll come down here and do the same thing. So before I leave the house to get heated up again. For all I know, this might happen at like 1 a.m. or something. Because I woke up around 2 or something a.m. and came down here and messed with it because I was very uncomfortable while I was sleeping. So, I found the cutoff switch for it. I didn't know where this was at, so I've been flipping the breaker for this to turn it on and off. But now that I've discovered this, yeah. So, I flipped this off. It's supposed to wait 10 seconds according to the manual. And, yeah, I'm just waiting here. I think it's been 10 seconds or so. And I come back up here. I flip this on. And the draft inducer roars to life. The bearings on it are shot because it's a Broad Ocean fan motor. And I take my lighter tip, I stick it in here, but not yet. I need to wait till I hear some relays click. This is going to be a while. And if anyone's wondering, this is a Nordine furnace. There's that click. So I'm going to stick this up in here. Try to ignite this lighter. There it goes. The flame indicator's on, and hopefully soon the blower will kick on. If it will. When it kicks on to its medium-high fan speed, that's where I have it set at. And then when it goes into its cooldown cycle, it switches to the low speed setting. Surprisingly, with this cover off, I haven't been smelling any sort of natural gas, carbon monoxide fumes, which is good. I'm going to turn the light off. You can have a look at the flames right here, which is pretty cool. And then the DELs, which are actually brighter. And I'll go up, we'll see what some of the vents are doing. I have one of the vents in the basement just so the pipes don't freeze. So that stays open. So this vent's working, and since it's been off for a while, it's kind of chilly. I'm not going to run any space heaters tonight, mostly because I'm sleeping. I don't want to leave them unattended. This one's metal, so fine with leaving it unattended. This one here, I think actually, I don't feel much air. I wonder if I turned the damper off for that. You can hear this one. Feels cold like normal. That one doesn't work too good. I am leaving the ceiling fans on. This one's on medium speed. This one's on, I think, medium low. That's off. I don't normally use that one unless if I'm in the kitchen cooking. I don't have any fans in here, but this vent here should be fine. Turn this off. I need to unplug those. Christmas is over. But we do have snow outside, so I guess the snowflake lights do make sense. Oh. And I am going to turn this light here off. Might bring, at some point in time, I might bring a small fan over here, but I don't really need it. And here's this vent. This oscillating fan's just here because occasionally I'll use it to boost the air if some other vents are open and there's not really much of a draft. Haven't really needed it because they reconfigured some of the lower floor vents, so those are now closed, and it's only really these, with the exception of living room vents. And, well, it feels somewhat nice, but it's going to get quite toasty up here. Don't have a temperature oh wait, I do. About 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And the humidity's crazy low, of course. It's always like that here in the winter. But I'll make an update video to this tomorrow morning when I wake up, and we'll compare some of the temperatures. I think it was 64 on a thermostat on the lower floor. I can't remember, but that's what it looked like. So thank you very much for watching, and keep the breeze. Oh wait, lights. Yeah, 25 watt incandescent. And the reason why it's just so dim, why I put 25 watt in here, is I don't want all the light. This is dimmed for the same reason I don't want all of the light. So I have the CFL in here. That's a 25 because that's my night light. That's a 75. I think that's a 100. Something like that. So there's the lighting. Okay, thank you very much. Keep the breeze, or keep it warm, whatever. Good morning, everybody. I am freezing my ass off. Get these guys going. So those are still on. I don't know why, but 60 degrees. It feels a lot colder than that. Oh, man. It's so cold. I don't know why I have to wait for this. Why can't it just start? You open the goddamn valve. Why is this not igniting? God damn it. Thank God. Oh, jeez. This is awful. I need Pop-Tarts. This is what I have to go through.